The thing that
Okay.
really interested me was when you guys were talking about whether or not if committing genocide against the Otsutsukis are justified.
Oh
And I
yeah.
was
Well,
I
it's like
was like
yeah.
I think my thing is like, okay, so I tend to forget that there are some Otsutskis out there that don't really think the same way as Momoshiki, Kenshiki, Ishiki, and
Don't know
Orishiki
that.
does.
Don't
Yeah,
know that.
I don't know for sure. For one,
We
Kaguya,
don't know.
for one,
But
all I
even
know is
her,
that yeah, Kaguya is
the thing
when it comes
yeah.
to Kaguya and Toneri, they're a little bit iffy.
Toneri's very different, but
Toneri's a half breed, not even a half breed. He's
He's
yeah,
like in the
Toneri's
same.
honestly
10% breed.
Toneri
yeah,
is
like
like
Toneri
in the
like a
same
watered down
category.
Otsuki. And
I
then
think yeah.
Kaguya just like she went on her own like little side mission. Like she fell in love with a priest and shit. Like when she came, so she had the mission that all Otsutskis have. So I would assume they think the same. Um,
I
you'll
mean,
probably have like
But
some of them that go AWOL and shit because they have their own minds. They seem like they have their own like conscious thinking. They don't just like follow rules like
I mean,
but I think yeah.
personally, especially taking into account Hagoromo's dialogue at the end of Naruto,
Mhm.
I don't think the Otsuki inherently are these evil demon people.
no.
It's more like
No.
the chakra fruit is what made them this way. It's like a drug that they became so obsessed with that they've gone to such crazy lengths and they're willing to do all these horrible things because it's almost like an addictive drug. Like this chakra
But
fruit's power is
it's
consumed them.
it's perspective though. Like bad things and evil is perspective though. Like all right, so like for instance, chickens and animals can call us evil because we kill them and we slaughter them for food just to eat. You know what I'm saying? So are we
Yeah.
inherently evil because we do that? Like they can look at us as evil, and we can look at beings that come and try to slaughter and do things to us as evil. You know what I'm saying? But are
Yeah.
they inherently evil, or is that just how they survive? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like you always got to think about
Exactly.
it from
It's the
that
same
perspective.
thing for if a lion would kill a gazelle. It's not really evil. It's just doing this based off of survival and just pure instinct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 And like it's a hypothetical if a lion or a bear, or I don't know what the most likely animal to a grizzly bear comes to attack a human, I wouldn't say it was evil of me to pull out a gun and kill the bear or however I
No.
kill the bear, to save my life. Nobody's gonna call that evil. And in the case of the bear, I wouldn't say it was evil for attacking me. It's a misunderstanding, and it's a pretty hard barrier to cross through
But
with a
it's not a
bear.
Yeah.
It's
misunderstanding.
unfortunately it's going to be hard to reach an understanding with that bear, but
Because
neither's
yeah.
evil for it.
But
Unless you
Kamui,
can
See,
speak
Kamui,
bear.
there's no understanding to be
it's
reached. It's
yeah.
an impossible dilemma. If the bear doesn't eat you, it starves.
I would say it's impossible because there are people. I mean, it's difficult because bears have their instincts; they're not domesticated. But there are like you can find like places where if a bear was essentially separated from the wild at birth and it's raised by humans, they're not like a dog, obviously, but they can be pretty domesticated. They can be
Yeah,
tamed.
they
Like
can be.
Yeah, they
understanding,
can.
it's of course because it's so far into the wild instinct. It's very hard to get it that perfect in one go. It takes time to fully domesticate, to fully reach that understanding.
Mhm.
But like you can make a lot of progress actually,
No, Kamui,
and
that's
that's
not
Yeah.
what I'm
just through
talking
the
about.
power of
There's this
nurture.
guy that
So
I watch. He's called I forget what his podcast is called, but he's like super. His voice is super nonchalant and it's boring, but he has interesting people on there. He was talking about this guy who's like he visited the Amazon, and he was like in the sea with freaking anacondas, and like he like talked like he was around grizzly bears and all this, and he was saying like they don't naturally just really attack humans unless they're trying to like protect their like their young and stuff. And it's ways that you can like communicate with them, like if you learn, like because all of them have a language, they communicate with each other. If you learn their language and learn their ways, then you can communicate with them. But that's off topic though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kamui,
I mean,
there's
and
no
like I said, with the
understanding to
case
be
of a
reached.
bear, because like it's
Oh my
intellectual
god.
I mean, it doesn't have the same brain as a human. It's going to be more difficult because it's a lot easier for the bear to misunderstand the situation. And, its
Right.
instinct is going to be to protect itself, to protect
To
its
protect,
young, and so
right.
on. And it will kill you. If it thinks it needs to, it will do so. A human,
Right.
it's easier to cross that barrier because, we can actually reason with it with our words. We're not going to be able to reason with words to the bear. Unfortunately, it doesn't have that ability to speak English with us. A human
Yeah.
can. In the case
Oh
of the
my God.
Otsutsukis, well, their minds are a lot more like humans. They actually have the potential to do so because you can literally communicate with them.
Yeah.
So it's different from a bear, but they
Kamui, you're
kind
not
of are different species.
understanding. That's
They're
not
like
an
to be different
instinct.
species,
We're
but they
gonna-
may have
That's
started off
an
as humans.
intellectual thing.
Before we
So
the-
Kamui,
and
give
this also
give a bear human intelligence, give it omniscience, I don't care. There's still no understanding to be reached. Either the bear eats you and it lives, or the bear doesn't
If
eat
you
you
give
and
a
it
bear
starves to
human
death.
intelligence, yes, there is.
That can
Because
you
the
can
It's
bear
literally
literally-
would
understand.
it's kind of
No,
if a
Oodie,
threat
because
is real or not.
no, but Oodie, the thing is, the bear is why is it attacking you? Because it thinks there's a threat. If it thinks there's a threat, whether it speaks English or not, it will attack you. But through language, if it had the brain of a human, we can much more easily convince it that we aren't a threat. Through logic or whatever means, because we have the ability, like with the actual bear,
Because you can do
we don't
that,
have
like
the
actually, like
option
the
to
going
give
back
it like
to
a
the dude that I was
logical
talking-
explanation and to reach their emotion. It's a lot harder to do so
my
because of how
God.
their brains are structured. So it's kind of just like
But-
hit or miss.
I'm not making
can
an
try,
even
but-
like
argument.
the-
I'm not making an
Even
argument
like
for
the
that. I'm
dude I
making an
was
argument
talking
for
to, like,
starvation for
certain movements that you
carnivores.
can make and stuff, like in front of bears and stuff, will let them know that you're not a threat. So they have a they have a cognitive mind, like they're not just brain dead, just reacting off instinct all the
Exactly.
time. Like they will read signs and see if you're a threat
Yeah.
or not. There's certain movements that
Exactly.
you can make,
Kamui,
like
it's not an intelligence
like
thing.
to let them know that you
It's not an instinct
either
thing.
are a threat
Are
you
prey
aren't a
or
threat.
not.
It's
So,
not
like,
a misunderstanding.
yeah, exactly.
if
Sorry for all the noise, guys.
it's okay. I think so. It's kind of funny because there are like for a bear, there are certain things you need to do in order for it to not attack you. Like if I forgot what it is, but
You can make yourself
If
big
you-
or some shit like that, or some weird
That's
shit.
like
I
you
think
can try.
Fairness,
But here's the thing.
actually.
Here's the thing. If you run from the bear, it's gonna think you're prey.
Oh my God, you guys
Yeah,
aren't
and it's
gonna chase
getting
you.
it. You guys
Yeah.
don't understand.
And it's the same thing
That's not the
for it will be
dilemma.
the same thing for a mountain lion. If you run from it, it will think you're prey.
Okay, let's
It
go
will
with the
chase
mountain
you and
lion
hunt you down.
example. Let's assume
think
for the
one
sake of the
bear you gotta play
hypothetical.
dead
Kamui,
with. I think
please.
that's the one.
Oh my God.
Just don't really
Oh
do
my
anything
God.
when it starts to attack you.
Okay, let's assume.
So how are we
Or
equating this to Suski's? Like how are we comparing?
Well,
them?
here's the
Crazy.
thing.
This
Like,
is
what-
Well,
crazy.
here's the thing. Like
up, Ray?
I'm trying to figure out is it justified for Kawaki to commit genocide against the Otsutsukis, and whether or not if the Otsutsukis all think the same way.
Okay.
This isn't the
because-
thought experiment you should be having. I'm just not able
Well,
to
Oodie,
say it,
you jumped
apparently.
in late. Oodie, you jumped in late. This is the question Immortal.
I jumped in like
asked.
5 minutes ago. I've got the gist. He's asking the wrong
Okay, but
question, and you're answering it
This
wrongly.
is the question he asked.
I
why
know.
we're
I
talking
know
about
what
it.
the
So,
question
here's-
is he asked. Your guys are approaching it from the wrong angle.
No, we're
Well,
not.
what is?
Oh my God.
what's
You're not
your
able to
angle,
let me freaking
Oodie?
explain it, Kamui. What do you mean, no, you're not? You can't say this
Well,
such
You're
ignorant
trying to
take.
tie this into your stupid Attack on Titan
I
beliefs.
know. I know.
Exactly.
The point
We're not
here,
talking about Attack on Titan.
the thought
Because
the thing, for
experiment
me-
here should be around the dilemma. So here's the thought experiment. Let's go with the lion cub and the bear. So let's assume they're both carnivores. So let's assume the only food source for the
They are
lion.
carnivores.
Yeah,
Are
okay,
we
perfect.
assuming?
Yeah. So for the sake of the for just setting up the hypothetical. So okay, we're gonna assume there's no
You
other
don't need a
food source
hypothetical
around.
when they are.
Okay, whatever. There's no other food source around. The only food the lion cub can consume is the bear's children. The bear doesn't want the children to be consumed. It's not unethical for the bear to attack the lion, and it's not unethical
Oodie,
for
this
the
is why I
lion
say
to
you
attack
joined
the bear's
late. I
children.
literally discussed this earlier when
Yeah,
I was
he
talking about the bear
literally just
situation
said
with me. I said,
exactly what he
if the bear attacks me, it's not unethical for me to kill the bear in
I
self-defense.
know,
and
Kami, this
vice
is why I
versa.
brought it
If-
up. I
exactly
already
why.
joined in by this point. You guys are talking over me, so you don't understand. So what I'm saying here,
But
it's
we
not
already
unethical
know the
for them
answer
to
because
attack
we all
each other.
agreed.
Bro,
But
you've
in
been
this
doing
case,
this
Kamui, that's
podcast
not a
with Kamui for how
misunderstanding.
long, and
There's
you don't never
going to be
realize he overtalked
conflict, and it's neither side's fault. There's no understanding to be had there. The problem is with the
No, you
world
can
itself.
understand. Oodie,
With the
Oodie, that's where
okay.
you're being stupid. You can understand. Like, we have no choice. If there's two people left, or let's just, whatever. Like,
Then that's
there's
not
only
peace.
you eat me or I eat you. We understand, but we're gonna fight
Right.
for ourselves. There's an understanding there. We just can't do anything about it.
Exactly.
Right,
The
but yeah,
not
bring
doing
up the-
anything
bring
about
up
it
the
is the
Danzo
point
Itachi
that I'm trying to
example.
get at. That's the dilemma.
Bring up the Danzo Itachi example with all the sick men and whether or not if it's, I don't know if it's
With
I
the
don't know,
sick man
ethical would
example,
be
the
the-
sick man isn't
yeah.
trying to kill the healthy people. That's the difference. And he
Well,
doesn't
no,
have any
but
reason
whether
to.
or
He doesn't
not
need
if
to.
keeping him alive would be the safe option.
Yeah, so with the bear and the lion cub, neither side is wrong. Both sides deserve to live, but only one side can. Either the children get eaten or they don't. You can apply that to pretty much
Yeah.
any conflict. That doesn't go to understanding. That doesn't have to do with peace. There's no peace to be had.
Oodie, this is where it's different in Attack on Titan. They're not in a situation where it literally has to be we eat each other to survive. They could
Not
just
literally
not fight
eat.
each other. Like, that option exists.
Their bodies don't allow them to.
See, this is where you're being stupid. Their bodies do allow them to.
Oh my god.
Like,
Right.
you have zero evidence
So-
to say that their bodies are automated to fight each other in this case. That it's programmed. No, they have the option to not fight. Human nature in Attack on Titan especially might be to have conflict exist, and that's cool. But they technically have the option to not fight. Eren has the option to not do the rumbling. The problem is the humans are choosing to do the fighting. Why? Because they want to. For whatever reason it is, they want money, they have anger, whatever it is, they're choosing to do it, but they have the option. The case of the bear and the lion, they didn't have the choice. I mean, yeah, I guess they have the choice to just die, but like, there's no option where they just don't eat either side. In the Attack on Titan, there is the option to just not fight. They're just choosing to.
Mhm. So, if anything, that makes the Marleyans worse. They're choosing to fight when they don't have to. They should die for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's fine to make that argument, like that they suck ass. It's not Gabby's fault that the past people taught her to be the way she is.
Okay,
It's
then
the
world
overall
genocide is
Marley
correct.
ideology that sucks ass. But
the whole world is choosing to fight
it's
parity
the
when
Marley
they don't have to.
ideology that deserves to die.